Disclosure isn't free. Folks like you and me. That's right, disclosure is not free. It's $40 apparently to find out the truth about the world that you live in. And that's on top of your monthly Amazon subscription as well. So unlucky if you can't afford it. I guess you just stay in the dark. Your fault for being poor, I guess. This is the Age of Disclosure review. Okay, it's not a watch along. We're not streaming it on YouTube. Okay, a few people went into a bit of a meltdown on X last night. Apparently, they've never heard of a watch along, despite many YouTube channels doing it. Joe Rogan, literally being one of them, does fight companions where they watch the event and talk about it as it's happening. And, my live stream wasn't even that. It was a pre-game watch along. We weren't even watching it yet. We were just talking about it, looking at clips. Apparently, that concept was just so foreign to some people on X that they had an aneurysm and contacted Amazon and got our live stream taken off the air live. Now, luckily, the people at Amazon aren't as retarded as those people. And after speaking to them and explaining what was actually going on, they were like, oh, okay, my bad. We'll take back the copyright strike. So that's all good. There's no issues there. So just to make sure we don't upset any reactionary and emotional boomers, I thought rather than do a live stream, we'll just talk about it. Okay, we'll just talk about what we thought about the movie. We'll do a little review and just a little debrief of kind of what happened in the last 24 hours. So I guess first big thing is, did we learn anything? Did we get disclosure? No, not really. If you're already interested in this topic and you watch channels like Jesse Michaels, like Area 52, like some of the bigger guys, you wouldn't have learned anything new at all. In fact, it seemed like the documentary kind of cherry-picked a few of the stories and cases that we've already seen in depth on those kind of channels and gave you like a very quick touch on it, a very quick overview. So if you've watched Jesse Michaels and Area 52 and the other big channels, you would already know those stories in far more depth, okay? So we didn't really learn anything new there. The only thing that I would say was new, we already learned in the promo clips, which was Jay Stratton talking about seeing an alien being himself. And we saw that in the promo clip a long time ago. One personal positive that I'll take from it was the admission by, I believe it was Jay Stratton. I'm not going to show the clip again, okay? I don't want to get nuked off the air a second time. But I believe it was Jay Stratton, and he basically confirmed something that I and many others have been saying for a long time, is that it is the number one best disinfo tactic is to make movies about the truth, tell you that it's just a funny movie, and that way when anyone suggests that that's actually what's going on, people think you're a lunatic who watches too many movies. And you guys know that the list goes on about how many of those they could be. I think a big one is The Abyss. Men in Black is another obvious one. But if you really want to start pushing it into tinfoil territory, maybe even They Live. So that was the one positive that I'm taking away from it. But I think at the end of the day, the whole movie had this undertone of just kind of feeling like spooks giving you their version of the truth. People from intelligence and weird, dark special access programs giving you their version of events. This is all coming from the same places that have covered this stuff for a long time. So how much can we believe them? One of the main narrators and executive producer of the movie was Lou Elizondo, who showed us pictures of a irrigation circle and a reflection of a chandelier claiming to be a UFO. So, how much of this stuff can we actually take seriously? Now, in his defense, in the live stream before it got nuked off the air, we were actually talking about Lou, and we talked about those photos. But we actually played some clips of him that I thought he said some really compelling things and was some of his most honest moments. And it's up for debate how honest that actually is. But he was speaking about the true nature of mankind and our position in the hierarchy of beings. And perhaps there's something here that is more intelligent than us, that is able to sort of manipulate and coerce us without us even realizing it. These are a lot of things that do align with me, but he didn't really get that kind of deep in the movie. It really was just a movie that felt like it was designed to introduce someone to the topic. And this is where I think the main problem lies here. Because the price of this movie was disgusting, in my opinion. This wasn't exactly fucking Avatar, okay? There's no visual effects. There's no huge blockbuster budget to pull this thing together. It's literally a bunch of old dudes sitting down, telling you a little tiny bit and teasing you about what they actually know. Now, of course, people need to be reimbursed for their time. These things do cost money, and I do respect that. It was already on Amazon that people pay a subscription for. So people are already paying that. Now, you can rent and buy movies on Amazon. They're usually anywhere from like $5 to maybe $15. That's like some of the more expensive ones that I've seen. This thing in Australia was $38.50, and that's on top of the Amazon subscription. And this movie is meant to be about just telling you the truth about the world that you live in. And the biggest problem with all of that is the fact that people like us who do watch Jesse Michaels and watch Area 52 and are invested in investigating this topic, we are the kind of people who are willing to pay that kind of money. But we are the kind of people who knew everything that was in it and more. If the whole thing about this movie was about trying to get it onto as many eyes as possible and get the truth out, we want people to know about disclosure, we want people to know the truth about the world that they live in, people who aren't interested in this topic, who is apparently the intended audience, aren't going to be forking out nearly 40 Australian dollars on top of their Amazon subscription to watch it. What is the point in this? It feels like a money grab targeted at people who are already into the topic, who, after watching it, probably didn't learn anything else they didn't already know. And there was one part at the end of the movie that probably grinded my gears the most, which was Lou Elizondo saying, and I'm pretty sure other people have said this too, a very similar quote. They say something like, "I can't tell you what I want to tell you so badly because I'm bound by NDAs and the information is classified. But one day when everybody finds out about this, they're going to say, I wish you told us sooner." Like, not only does that have this super kind of doomer connotation to it, like there's something dark and impending that we all would like to know is coming so we can prepare for it. But like, if that's true, don't say it. What does saying, I know something that I can't tell you, but when you eventually find out, you're going to wish you knew sooner? How is that productive? What does that achieve other than scaring the fuck out of people? It's fear-mongering. That doesn't help the situation. That's not disclosure. It's dangling the carrot and making people anxious and robbing them of like $45, $50. I said this a couple of weeks ago that I feel like most people are going to be disappointed with this movie, and I feel like I was right. I haven't really seen anyone say anything positive about it so far. It really just feels like a cash grab targeted at people who are invested in this topic. No one's going to pay that kind of money who isn't invested in it, so I don't understand the point of trying to get this knowledge out. Because at the end of the day, the truth should be free. You shouldn't have to pay for the truth, and it shouldn't be classified. I don't believe anyone else should have the right to determine what you can or can't handle if it comes down to being the truth of the world that you live in. Now, aside from having a feeling that this was going to be a flop and kind of take us nowhere, I also had a feeling that the new updated version of Moment of Contact that's going to be coming out very soon by James Fox, which has an interview with the doctor who saw the being in the Varginha case in Brazil, that is going to be far more impactful because that is real people who aren't tied to NDAs, who aren't telling you a little bit and dangling the carrot, telling you that they wish they could tell you. That is real people with real stories. And I think what James Fox is going to bring in December, I believe, is going to be far more impactful and far more well received because people aren't going to feel like they're, one, being robbed and having the truth kind of dangled in front of them with a side plate of fear. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who was in the live stream last night. My apologies that it just got taken out in the middle out of nowhere for literally no reason. The copyright strike that came to me was claiming that the entire stream was showing the age of disclosure. So shout out to the people that filed that copyright strike, and shout out to Amazon who, after I spoke to them about the copyright strike, they realized that the people who filed it are likely just reactionary emotional boomers with an IQ below room temperature. So let me know what you guys think in the comments if you've watched the documentary. How did you feel about it? Do you think I'm being pessimistic? Do you feel like you got ripped off? Did you learn anything from the documentary? Get in the comments and let me know. I want to say as well, tomorrow morning, maybe tonight where you are if you're watching this, we're going to be doing Weird Week, and it is going to be Suki's very last shift here on the channel. For now. She'll be back eventually, but for now. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, you can go to my other channel linked below, Jostradamus TV. And I just uploaded a full video talking about that, showing you where Suki is going and just kind of giving you a little life update over there. So guys, thank you. I appreciate all your support. It's been a weird week and we're going to be talking about all of that tomorrow. Keep being good to each other, guys. Be kind. Take a deep breath. Get outside. Touch some grass. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.